I'd like to thank Dinah Israel for this story. Opioids have had such a bad impact on America. People are dying in large numbers around the country on a regular basis. The mainstream media has done everything over the past 20 years to keep this whole thing suppressed, but it has not worked. Many people have knowledge of this thing, or they are directly impacted by this plague. They may have several family members that have died, or know people directly or indirectly that have also succumbed to opioids in this country. It is such a problem that they literally has let this whole thing spiral out of control. They've had the opioid commission that Trump has set up, and we don't really hear too much of nothing coming out of the opioid commission. We heard things around the time when he first set it up, but we have heard from people like Kennedy that said it was a do nothing committee. Nothing was getting done. We sure don't hear anything, that's for sure. And Chris Christie pretty much said the same thing. Every time they would give Trump recommendations, he would just blow them off. And ever since this has been declared a public health emergency and not a national emergency, it's not changing anything. Nothing is changing. This thing is going stronger than ever across the country. And the morgues are running out of space, and people are dying like flies from the fentanyl. They can't even keep that out of the country. But then again, China's not helping in the matter at all. So this article came out from CBS News, April 17th, 2019. There was a major opioid bust across U.S. states. It was about 7 states involved. 60 charged, 32 million pills. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not going to change anything. You busted a few more people. Even the police admitted in, articles that I read in the past and did videos on, as soon as they take down one dealer, another one crops up in less than 24 hours. That's why they can't even put a dent in this whole thing. There are so many people not working, they're willing to take the chance to sell drugs. But let's go ahead and get into this article. All right, so dozens charged in major opioid busts across the U.S. I'm going to play the video.
Justice Department today announced the largest prescription opioid bust ever. 60 suspects, including doctors, pharmacists, and other healthcare providers, were arrested in 7 states after allegedly prescribing 32 million pills. Meg Oliver has more on this.
Just after sunrise in Cookeville, Tennessee, federal, state, and local agents prepare for the largest opioid takedown of medical providers in the country.
Are you saving some of these small communities today?
We're saving lives.
Special Agent Derek Jackson is a lead investigator for the Appalachian region.
What kind of message are you sending to medical providers today?
If you overprescribe, if you steal from the taxpayer, you're going to go to jail.
Today's operation stretched across 7 states, among the hardest hit in the opioid crisis. In all, they indicted 60 individuals, including doctors, nurses, and pharmacists, who collectively prescribed more than 32 million pills.
Our focus was heavily on preventive medicine first.
A Tennessee family nurse practitioner known as the Rock Doc, who piloted a reality TV show about his clinic, allegedly prescribed dangerous combinations of opioids in exchange for sexual favors.
It's hundreds of pills that aren't going out that day.
Agent Jackson drove us through Clay County, a small town with fewer than 8,000 residents, but home to 3 pharmacies on the same block. 2 of them prescribe more than 1.5 million opioid pills.
This is one of the pharmacies.
And then there's another
There's
one,
another pharmacy. There's another pharmacy.
all within a stone's throw.
Dozens indicted today are also charged with billing Medicare and Medicaid for unnecessary prescriptions.
Is this federally funded drug dealing?
I would classify it as federally funded drug dealing, yes, because these are federal programs that are paying for the drugs.
What does the future look like for Clay County if you can shut these pharmacies down?
Future looks good. It's a hard working town. We just need to get the unnecessary pills off the street.
The pharmacist who worked here was among those indicted today. Agents say over 3 years, this pharmacy ordered enough opioids per day for every man, woman, and child here in Clay County. Jeff?
Fascinating to hear about Meg Oliver. Thank you very much.
Wow. Ladies and
And
gentlemen,
we are going to begin tonight with round 1 in what is shaping up to be 3 days.
ladies and gentlemen, did you hear that? The doctors wanted sex for prescription pills. Damn, pimps for pills. Wow. And it just, what this also proves, y'all? That doctors are not writing less scripts. Some are, but there is still a high concentration of doctors in this country that are still overprescribing the opioids. You got to remember the perks that they get from prescriptions. That's really where they get their money. For every script they write, they get money from the pharmaceutical company. And many of them don't want to give up that money, even if there's an opioid plague going on in the country. So, how bad is this thing? You got doctors giving legal prescriptions. And on top of that, you got the people on the streets doing the drugs illegally. So there are all kinds of ways for people to get some sort of drug to get high on as far as opioids are concerned. So this just go to show you, as far as them saying, oh, we're going to jail doctors for writing too many scripts. And guess what? Those doctors are taking the chance and they don't give a shit. So dozens of people, including 53 medical professionals, were charged. So being that these doctors can legally write scripts, guess what? They can illegally do it as well and give scripts to all kinds of people that don't even have medical issues. And like that head investigator said, these pills are being, the federal government is paying for these pills, especially if these folks have Medicaid and Medicare and stuff like that. So look like they're trying to crack down. And some of those states are some of the biggest ones that have, all kinds of people dying, especially Ohio, West Virginia, Kentucky. Those states have been hit hard by the opioid plague. And as you can see, they said the charges levied by ARPO strike force involve over 350,000 prescriptions and over 32 million pills distributed out by healthcare officials across several states, including Ohio, Tennessee, Alabama, West Virginia, Kentucky, Pennsylvania, and Florida. And every last one of those places have, very high death rates. I know Pennsylvania alone declared a state of an emergency, and it got so bad there, they're giving Narcan out for free so that the public can help in reviving some of these addicts that fall. They're so overwhelmed by calls every single day that they're trying to now get the public involved. So 31 doctors, 7 pharmacies, and 8 nurse practitioners, they're allowed to write scripts, nurse practitioners, were charged on Wednesday. Some of the examples of medical malfeasance found in the indictment are striking. in their scope. So, wow. I mean, it is just mind-boggling that these pharmacies can get a hold of millions of pills like that. But see, you know what this proves, ladies and gentlemen? It's about getting paid. They don't even care about all of the people that are falling and dying on a regular basis every year from these drugs. They don't even care. They're trying to keep these opioids out there at all costs because of all the money it's generating. Again, money over people, and we see it in this case as well. Wow. I mean, listen to this. A 30-year-old patient in Alabama allegedly overdosed after being prescribed more than 800 oxycodone pills over 2 months prior to her death. 800 pills in 2 months? She was prescribed that, y'all. That's why I was telling you back when I first started doing these videos, when it comes down to Black people, they don't want you to have a script beyond 2 weeks, maybe a month the most. But when it came down to white patients, they gave it out like candy. And you can see it's still going on. They got these drugs legally. 800 pills over a 2-month period. Yeah, I guess that patient is dead. Yeah, they're dead. I mean, how could they not be dead? What do you think an addict is going to do with that amount of pills? They're going to overdose and die. Wow. So, as you can see, nothing has changed. We're just a few years ahead. But scripts are still being written out all through Appalachia like a candy store. But yet they'll turn around and downplay the amount of people that are dying. Now, they got it all the way down to 115. I've seen 175. I've even seen 200. And that just go to show you, ladies and gentlemen, there's a lot of deception going on when it comes down to the amount of people that are dying every day. The numbers just keep fluctuating all over the place. And that's why you are never to believe these numbers that they are publishing, and always believe that the number of people that are dying are probably quadruple what they're telling us on a regular basis. I kid you not. Last year, I read articles that said 175. I read one that said 200 last year, and now this one says 115. Don't believe their numbers, y'all. It's far worse than what they're saying. That's why they don't want to give you the true number. But please tell me what you think, ladies and gentlemen, about this story. This is pretty deep. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.